Okay, so we've all been there. You're staring at a giant stack of books. You know you need to study, but your brain, it's just not having it. Well, in this explainer, we're going to tackle that exact problem, how to focus when you really don't feel like it.
You know exactly what I'm talking about, right? You finally sit down at your desk full of all these great intentions. You open your textbook. You read the first line.
And then what happens? All of a sudden, you think, I could really use some water. Or you just, peek at your phone for 1 second and boom, you look up and somehow 30 minutes have just disappeared. Gone.
But listen, here's something really important to understand. This is a total game changer. It doesn't mean you're lazy, not at all. It just means you're distracted. And distraction, that's something we can actually fix. So stick with me, we're going to go through 5 super practical tips that will absolutely make a difference.
All right, tip number 1. Let's talk about your space. It might not seem like a big deal, but trust me, your physical environment has a massive impact on your mental focus.
I mean, just take a look at these 2 desks. The one on the left, it's just chaos, right? Every single thing on that desk is screaming for your attention. But the one on the right, it's clean, it's simple. Look, the idea here is really straightforward. A cluttered desk leads to a cluttered mind. When your space is clear, your brain doesn't have to work overtime just processing all that junk.
So, here's what you're going to do. Before you even open a book, just take 2 minutes. Seriously, that's all it takes. Get rid of any extra books lying around. Stick to just the one subject you're working on. Oh, and have some water right there with you so you don't have that excuse to wander off. And the big one, put that phone away, like really away. It's such a small thing, but it makes a world of difference. Okay, tip number 2. This one is an absolute lifesaver if you ever feel, totally overwhelmed by a huge chapter or a big project. It's called the 25-minute rule. Maybe you've heard of it as the Pomodoro technique. And all the magic is in this one number, 25. See, instead of telling yourself, I have to study for the next 3 hours, which sounds awful, right? You just make a tiny promise to yourself. You say, okay, I am just going to focus for 25 minutes. That's it. Anyone can do 25 minutes.
And the whole system is brilliantly simple. You work for 25 minutes, then, and this is the important part, you take a 5-minute break. Get up, stretch, do whatever. That little break is what lets your brain reset so you don't get burned out. And then after you've done that about 4 times, you get a real break, like 15 or 30 minutes. It's awesome.
So why on earth does this work so well? Well, it's because it takes this huge, scary mountain of a task and breaks it down into small, easy steps. Our brains just work better that way. We love short, achievable goals. A 25-minute sprint, that feels totally doable. It basically tricks your brain into just getting started, which is often the hardest part.
All right, let's move on to tip number 3. And this one is the big one. We have to talk about the single biggest enemy of focus in our world today, all those digital distractions.
Yeah, let's just be honest with ourselves for a second. Our phone, this thing is the absolute killer of deep focus. And here's the crazy part. Even if you're not actively using it, just having it near you means a little piece of your brain is always on alert, just waiting for it to buzz or light up.
So, the solution here has to be a little extreme, because let's face it, willpower alone isn't going to cut it. Don't just silence it, turn off the notifications. Better yet, put your phone in another room. Go on, give it to your mom if you have to. The goal is to make it a hassle to check it. Remember this, out of sight, out of mind. It really works.
Okay, tip number 4. This one is all about how you're actually studying. Because believe it or not all study methods are created equal. There is a huge difference between passively reading something and actively learning it.
You ever start reading a chapter and your eyes just start to get heavy? Yeah, that's what happens with passive studying. You're just letting the words wash over you. Active studying is the opposite. It forces your brain to wake up and get involved. Try scribbling down some quick notes, highlighting key ideas, or actually trying to solve a problem. You could even try explaining the concept out loud to someone, or just to your wall. That's what keeps you engaged and makes the information stick.
And that brings us to our 5th and final tip. And honestly, this might be the most powerful one of them all. This is about finding your ultimate source of motivation. So I want you to just stop for a second and really ask yourself this question. Why are you studying? I mean, really, why are you putting in all this work? Now, your answer is going to be totally unique to you. Are you doing it to get good grades? To make your parents proud? Maybe it's about getting into that dream career you've been thinking about. Or maybe it's just for you, for your own self-respect. Whatever your reason is, you need to find it and you need to hold on to it. Because here's the simple truth. When your why is strong enough, your focus becomes strong too. It's that simple. Your why is the fuel that keeps your engine running when you feel like quitting. And this leads to a super important point that so many of us get backwards. We sit around waiting to feel motivated so we can start working. But that's not how it works. It's the other way around. Action comes first. Action creates motivation. Just the act of starting, even for a few minutes, is what builds the momentum you need. So, to wrap it all up, here are your 5 keys to focus. Number 1, clean your space. Number 2, use that 25-minute rule. 3, get that phone out of here. 4, study actively, not passively. And number 5, always remember your why.
And I want to leave you with this one last thought. A lot of people think that focus is just some talent you're born with. You either have it or you don't. But that is absolutely not true. Focus isn't a talent, it's a habit. It's a skill you can build, just like any other.
So how do you build that habit? You start today. Not tomorrow, today. Just start small. Pick one thing from this list, and then just be consistent. If you do that, I promise, you're going to see a huge change.